I have been totally delusional about this year. My brain seems to think that I can always achieve more than humanly possible in the shortest amount of time. The reality is, I can't and I don't. And after reviewing and reflecting on this year, I have definitely failed more times than I've succeeded. I have really big dreams, like high ambitions, and I often set very unrealistic goals. Therefore, usually two things happen. I dive headfirst and go hard to bring something to life, which often means the first time I do it very messy because done is always better than perfect. And two, I thrive on pressure to bring something to life, which means that after the sprint, my batteries are flat and then I need to crawl into a cave to recharge. I regroup and then I reemerge. I know this about me. And I guess when you start to learn how you best work, then it just makes life easier for the future as well. It's like when you do something for the very first time, you need to go through the motions so you understand the processes. You do the research, you learn from people who have done it before. And in all the years of marketing has taught me that after a campaign, after an event is done, you need to do a debrief, review, and refine. And you got to think about, what can I do more of, or what can I stop doing in order to make things better for yourself and for your clients or customers the next time around. And this becomes experience. So this is where you can create checklists and systems and SOPs, because the more times that we do something, the better we get at it, and the more knowledge and experience we have that we can, use for ourselves, but also pass on to other people. And a client I've been working with this week, her favorite saying is from the author of Atomic Habits, James Clear, is that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So in this episode of Content Catalyst, I want to help you plan out your best year yet for your business and look at how we can learn from this year and set up systems so we can rise and achieve our goals. So before we jump into this episode, I want to invite you to get a free copy of my annual planning calendar so you can map out your 2025. Now, I've used this for years and years and years, and I normally print out a copy and put it up on my wall. I have a shortcut on my desktop, and it helps me to map out what activities I'm doing, launches, campaigns, workshops, webinars. It sets the intention of what I plan to do for the coming year. And it also even just helps me map out when is school holidays, what sales events have we got coming up. It just helps me to plan it. But again, you've got to review it. If you want a copy of this annual planning calendar, check out the links in the descriptions below. All right, let's jump into the episode. When I look at mapping out next year, I always start with recapping and reviewing the year that was. So I look at what were our business goals and what were our marketing goals, and then what were our content marketing goals, and did we achieve them? If we did achieve them, review what actually got you there and what worked. If you didn't achieve them, take perspective of going, were you being me and trying to be too ambitious about things and setting unrealistic goals? Were they smart goals to begin with? Were they measurable? And so when we can do that, then we have a chance of being able to look at our business goals and our business goals might be something like increase annual revenue by 25%. Our marketing goal to get that business goal is that we need to generate, say, 200 qualified leads per month. And we're going to do that through an ad campaign or webinars. And then the content marketing goal to achieve the marketing goal is that we need to be posting 48 video tutorials on YouTube. So we drive website traffic and increase website traffic and conversion by 15%. So these are the things that we need to map out to measure our goals. So if we look at recapping the year, we want to look at our revenue. And our revenue is influenced by our offers, what we sell. And then our offers and products and services are influenced by our activities that we've done in order to sell the offers to generate the revenue. Sounds simple, right? So as we're recapping the year, I want you to have a think about what was my best month and what did I do in that best month? Then have a think about what was my most profitable offer and do I want to do more of that? And, this is something that I always think about, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. And if you're in a product based business, and I was in this many years, like clearing out wine, for example, when you come into vintage time, it's like my most profitable thing might have been I had, a whole lot of stock that I had to clear out for the year because we overbought something. And yes, it was profitable as in we, generated a whole lot of revenue and we were able to clear stock out. But do I want to do that? No, because by clearing out discounted stock, it doesn't help your brand to position it as a premium product. So this is where you got to think about, do I want to do more of that? Just because you made money out of it doesn't mean you should be doing it. It's the same with if you are offering a product and you're in a service-based industry, you might have a service that you offer that's done for you, but that doesn't necessarily wanna do more of that done for you work. It might exhaust you. Like last year, last week, I did a video shoot, and there's a lot of prep work that goes into a shoot. Like you do days of researching, the client, their product, their offer, doing your call to understand what they're trying to achieve, and then you've got the shoot day. Then you've got to do all the follow up post production as well. And so that takes a lot of effort. And so I don't want to be doing that day in, day out. I will pick and choose the projects that I will do that for because of the amount of energy it takes to do that. In saying that as well, of going, is there aspects of what you offer that you love doing and aspects of it that you don't like doing? And so, for example, I love doing pre-production and I love doing the campaign on shoot, which is why I've loved over the years directing and producing campaigns. But post-production, it's like the dopamine wears off and it's like I have to get into a different frame of mind. So then I look at how can I outsource that? If you look at I like this part of the project, but I don't necessarily thrive in this part of the project. How can you actually outsource some of that to make life easier? For example, I actually have really enjoyed editing lately because I've had the bandwidth to do more creative editing. So therefore, I actually enjoy that part of it. But if I had to do it as a day in, day out job, I wouldn't get the thrill out of doing that anymore because I'm not leaning into my superpowers and my strengths. So have a think about, was it what was profitable and what do you want to do more of? The next part is, what was your best lead generator? So if you're a product or a physical business, for example, think about what got traffic in the door, what made the phone ring, what made the orders come in online. If you're a service-based business, did you have a particular lead generator? It might have been a quiz, it might have been a PDF download guide. It might have been like I, mentioned before about I've got an annual planning calendar. And these are the things that you think about. What was my biggest lead generator? It could also be an activity such as I did a workshop and I didn't necessarily make money from the actual ticket sales of the workshop, but I had all these people join up to my course or my membership or became a member afterwards. So these are the things that you can think about. They were great lead generators because it offered ongoing business at a lifetime value of the client. Am I getting great return on my investment from my podcast? I may not have a lot of downloads, but what I do have is really good quality leads that come from it because they've gone a little bit deeper with you. Like for me, for my strategy for 2025, I'm doing YouTube content. That is my big focus. And because I'm doing that, what it gives me is really good quality long form content, which makes me super discoverable with AI search engines, which is a massive thing that's coming for 2025. It already is here. And so therefore, I'm going to put more energy into that. So what was my best lead generator and what can I do more of? So that's one question there are 3 questions to ask yourself. Now, on a personal level, think about What are 3 things that you're super proud of? I think it's always important to give gratitude for what we've done. As humans, we achieve so much, and we often forget to, reflect and take stock of that, to go, "That was pretty cool." So have a think about, what are you super proud of? For me, I pull out all of my, this time of year, I pull out all of my, planning manuals and, like, diaries and things like that, and I reflect on that. I'm like, "Oh, wow, that happened this year. I wrote that down and it actually came to fruition." So have a think about, what did you do? For me, I launched Content Catalyst membership this year, and it seems like it was, years ago that I've had it, but it was only April this year that I launched it. And so what a big thing for me of going, I have, 1, launched it, 2, grow on the membership, and 3, now have gotten all this beautiful feedback from people that now I have an incredible product to offer businesses for next year. So I'm super proud of that. I'm super proud that I've been able to create a community. I'm super proud that I'm doing more and more of the work that I love doing, that brings me joy. So have a think about, what are the things that you're super proud of as well. Here's one. What's one thing you wished you did more of, or you wish you did this year? For me, I wish I'd actually started focusing on YouTube content at the beginning of the year, because I know that with what I want to do for next year, I would have been further down the line. Lead generation strategies. I wish I'd changed a couple of things with my lead generation strategies. Now, I'm not going to sit there and go, woulda, shoulda, coulda. It's just a reflection of going, if we had a crystal ball of going, I really wish I had done that sooner, I would, it would help us to look forward about what we can actually do coming forward. The other thing I always love to do is pick a word. And how did you feel this year? Like, was it an easy year? Was it a joyful year? Or was it a stressful year, challenging year? Was it a bit of both? And I love picking a word for the year, because especially this year for me, my word this year was transformative. And when I got to crossroads of, am I going to go left or right? I went back to that word and went, if I do this and turn left, is this transformative? And what was my reason for having that word? The goal, the purpose behind it, the vision behind it, is because I wanted change and I wanted to evolve. So therefore, transformative was going to happen if I turned right. Last year, my word was love, and I wanted to love what I did. I wanted to love, like, my environment. And so that influenced so much of the work that I took on as well. Then how do you want to feel for next year? Have you picked a word? And what if it actually came through? Like, what would be your word for 2025 if you want to achieve, the next level? Is it growth? Is it joy? Is it fun? What's your word? So have a think about that. All right. So now when we get to looking at planning out our best year yet, we need to understand where is our business up to in the business life cycle? Because as I mentioned before, your business goals influence your marketing goals, influence your content marketing goals. So your revenue, your offer, and your activities are all influenced by your business life cycle. So let's look at the 4 main life cycles in business. We've got startup, we've got growth, we've got mature, and we've got decline. And decline can be renewal or divest and get rid of it. So if we look at, where is your business up to in its life cycle? Now, it could just be that you might have a mature business that's been plodding along, but your new focus is a brand new product. So therefore, that is then you're in startup phase of that. So then if we look at reviewing your product mix, have a look at your product mixes, what you've actually had out there, what you sold, where you got your revenue from, and then look at, again, what was your biggest profit generating, what was your biggest revenue generating product or service, and then ask these 4 questions. Do I want to expand? So that could be like adding a new offer or product onto that? Do I want to trade up? So trading up could be adding a higher priced option of that product. So for example, my membership, I've got Content Catalyst membership, which gives you access to the group coaching, but I have the accelerator option, which is a one-to-one strategy session each month. So we hit our goals and stay accountable. So that's trading up. Trading down, adding a lower priced option into your mix. And that could be, for example, I launched Content Catalyst Blueprint, which is a starting point for people to come into if they just want the strategy and plan, the foundations for their content marketing. So that's an option that you can do, and that's a lower priced option. So that's like an entry level part. Then the next part is contraction. So as I mentioned, do I want to do more of this? Do I need to discontinue this product line or service? So that's where we want to get to. When we know that with our product menu, then we can look at the 4 areas of our business growth. So if we're in startup phase, the activities that we're going to do to promote our business, that offer, is going to look like this. We want to focus on spreading the word and attract initial customers. We want to, again, build our expertise and position our branding. We want to humanize our brand and build that connection. And the way to do that is through behind the scenes content, doing stories, things like that, because it enables us to talking on camera, again, is one of the best ways, because it enables us to go, yes, I'm a real person. Explainer videos to introduce your product and service and demonstrate the value. So they're the key things that you want to look at when it comes to the startup phase of your business. So when you're in growth stage, you want to engage. So how we do that is that we've had people buy our product, so we need to focus on testimonials. So we get testimonial content to build trust and credibility. We want to share educational content, so we are focusing on the common pain points. Now, in this stage as well, you really start to understand in your messaging your common pain points of the audience. And that's often why people go from doing one-to-one coaching to group coaching, is because they get asked the same thing over and over again. And when you get asked the same thing over and over again, then you have an opportunity to be able to tell more people in a group setting. Targeted campaigns. So think about really specific targeting campaigns so you can actually reach new market segments within your audience. And I talk about this in the blueprint when you've got a cohort versus your avatar. So the difference between that is how you captivate that market segment. The other way to, again, engage is through live streams. I'm a massive fan of live streams. I don't care whether no one shows up to your live stream. Where the magic is, and I've always said this, is in the replay. How we talk in a 30-second video for a reel, for example, is very different to how we talk in a story. I know I talk very differently in stories and also live streams. So webinars, again, this is part of my strategy for 2025, is really looking at how I can do more webinars on a monthly basis and running ad campaigns to those webinars so I can grow my audience. And that's one of my biggest parts for next year. When you get into a mature stage of business, we then start to evolve because people become complacent, and they can become complacent that they know you for this thing. And so therefore, if you offer other products or services, they may not understand that you also do this thing. And I refer it back to whether you're a product business. They might think, you're a restaurant and they always go there for lunch, but it's like, did you know that I also do dinner? No, I didn't. If you're a winery, it's like, I drink your big reds, but I didn't know that you make fabulous rosé or, Chardonnay. If you were a coach, you might have a product or a service that is based on, like when I'm talking about, I have, I'm doing marketing plans for people and doing one-to-one sessions, but I've just finished off doing a full content audit for somebody. And last week I was doing video shoots. So it's about going, do they know the breadth of what your product range is? The other part is we want to position our expertise and thought leadership so we can elevate our our credibility and essentially your authority over your competitors. Demonstrating the products and highlighting new features. So again, showing different ways on how people can use and interact with you. Look at user generated content. User generated content has really evolved, and I'm going to do a whole episode just on user generated content, because especially with AI and faceless content, it's changing. But authenticity is something that has really come into. Now, you've got things like Amazon Shop and TikTok Shop and even YouTube Shop that is changing the way on how we buy things. So think about a user-generated strategy as well with your marketing. And I spoke about marketing strategy in last week's episode, so you can go back and watch or listen to that. Being a lot more personal as well with your video marketing. Like you can and I was listening to someone's in a business group yesterday, and the magic is in the follow-up. So how can we do more follow-up connection with our audience that we already have? What can you offer to them that, brings them into your circle? Like, for example, with my members in January, we're doing a vision board day. Now, I'm not charging for that. This is just a complimentary thing that I'm offering for my members, because the whole point of the day is I just want to have conversations with people and connect with my members and get to know them better and get to know what their needs are. And so it just becomes a more relaxed environment for people to have conversations. Okay, so then when we get to the stage 4, we're in decline with our business. So if you've been around in business for a long time, what will happen is these two things. You either be first or be different and stay up to date. So if you've been doing there's an odd saying of going, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But there comes a point in your business that you have to evolve. And if you don't evolve, especially in the world of digital marketing like these days, it's like other people are going to leverage it and they're going to come out with something shiny, bright and new, and you're going to lose your client base. So have a think about how can you rebrand, use rebranding videos to initiate a fresh approach to how what you're doing. Content, think about marketing it to new cohorts. So, you might be targeting business women that are, aged between 40 and 50, but there might be a whole new audience of, a different industry or a different demographic or geographic or psychographic that you can target with it. Interactive content to really engage your audience. So think about video content that you can help to re-engage them that's interactive as well. And the other thing to focus on with a renewal stage or decline stage, depending on which approach, if you're going to keep the product, then think about how can you rejuvenate it? How can you get feedback from your already customers? So if you get feedback from your already customers, and that can be in a focus group, getting them on a podcast is a great way to get feedback as well for content, getting them into a small group situation where they can, be a lot more free to give feedback openly. Because then when you can get those case studies, and video case studies are so powerful. I talk about marketing, but I talk about video, because between marketing and video, it's going to be the two most powerful things that you can do in activities to bring about new business and connect and get more out of the customers that are working with you now. So think about planning for 2025. Revenue sits at the top. How much money do I need to make? How much money can I make? What's the potential of the market share? Then it comes down to what offers do I need to do? What is my mix of products to give me, like we talk about old school marketing. It's like you've got your cash cow, which gives you, the revenue to keep things ticking along. But then you might have your high ticket price item that gives you, it could be a one-to-one day that comes up as something VIP that you don't sell a lot of, but when you do, it gives you a higher income. So product menu. So if we look at what does your product menu look like, for me, as I mentioned, there's things that I'll be looking at with my mix for next year. I'll be looking at affiliates. So and then affiliate. And when I say affiliates, it's like, okay, so if I am using, say, StreamYard to record this now, I use StreamYard. I recommend StreamYard. I don't recommend anything that I wouldn't love and use, and I'm very objectional about it as well. So if there are things that I don't like about something, I am going to share that. But essentially, if I'm recommending it to other people and I'm showing them how to use that product, then if there's an opportunity to get an affiliate commission out of it, then 100% there is. And the more that I'm with different mentor groups, it's like they make a lot of money out of affiliate groups. So that is one of the things that I'll be looking at for next year. I'll be reviewing my one-to-one offers, which are done for you and done with you. I'll be looking at some smaller mini offers, like mini courses or mini services that I can give you. And that could just be a simple thing, like I mentioned before, about a content shoot day. Sorry, not a content shoot day, because that's a high ticket offer, but like a content optimization report, so you can go, all right, I just need fresh eyes, because again, it's hard to read the label from inside the jam jar. I just need a fresh set of eyes to review all of my content. And I just did one this morning for somebody, and that content review optimization report then gives you the tools to go, right, this is my checklist of what I need to work on. And I had it done for me recently for that very reason. Okay, so then your mini offers, then look at my core offer. So my core offer is going to be the thing that I'm going to double down on with all of my content. So for me, this is where Inside Content Catalyst for January, February, March, I've just put this to bed now, is that we are going to work on our core offer. So we're going to develop our core offer from taking it from an idea, and we're going to bring it to life. And we're going to bring it to life by understanding our audience with it. We're going to understand the value that you have, and then we're going to bring it to life with the pricing mix as well. So once we have that, we're then going to look at how we promote it, again, those activities. And then, so then in February, that'll be the activities based of bringing that core offer to life, that signature offer to life. And how we're going to do that is creating a signature series, rather, to let people know about it. Signature series are really, really powerful. And you'll see creators that will make segments. TV does it as well. And we make segments or series. And it could be a 12-part series on this topic. And so what that does, it actually gives your audience a really good understanding, because we need repetition. We think we've spoken about it till the cows come home, but really your audience has only heard it once or twice. And I was talking to someone yesterday and they went, I only heard about that once or twice. I really need to be reminded like 20 times about something. And I'm like, exactly. So we need to increase our touch points of that. And the way we do that is through having a signature series that makes us recognizable and memorable. And we do that through video, and we do that through your long form and short form content. And what we do is have a signature style. So you see a lot of creators, they'll have a signature tagline or a signature opening line, or they'll have a signature look about their backdrop. They might have a signature look themselves, and then they have a part series. So it's bingeable content. And that's what we want to focus on in February in Content Catalyst. And then in March, we are then going to look at how we then communicate that so we can actually get sales while we sleep. And that is one of the things that I'm looking at, is my evergreen like customer journey. So people, like, I know that it's great to open and close with launch campaigns, because like rarity and scarcity really do help, especially with people like me. I need a deadline to act. But I also like to get things when I want to get things. So the whole point is that if we can make that cycle evolve, as in automation as such, then that's what I want to focus on, and that's in March. So that looks like how we promote the offer and developing that. So that's where we're at with our product menu. So with our product menu, look at what that mix looks like. Have you got a low-cost item, a high-cost item, and a high-turnover item? Map out your customer journey. So where do they come in? And I recently, again, we're talking about recapping the year so we know what to plan forward for, is that I recently did this with my members. I recently went through and got feedback from them to understand what they needed, how they found me. And the other thing to do as well is profile your audience now, like your customers now, and just see where they're up to. What do they need now? Where are they up to in their business cycle? Because if you can understand where they're up to in their business cycle, then you can help map out your journey of where they're up to in their lifetime value with you as well. So have a think about that. Then when we get into 2025, we want to look at our content, we're going to look at our lead magnets, we're going to look at our offers, and we're going to look at our lifetime cycle, because there's a thing about when you're in marketing, it's so much easier to get business from your current customers than it is to get from new ones. So how can we nurture your customers that you've already got that interact you? How can we, and that's why I say about, do they know about all your products? Can you show them a different way to use it? And that will increase the lifetime value. If you have a membership that's been going for a long time and they're just getting the same old, how can you renew what you offer and include with them as well? And that's one of the things that I look at, getting that feedback from our existing customers and members to get that, so we know how we can move forward. The other thing is to ask, what questions are your audience asking? And again, talking to someone today, they said to me, "Oh, Deb, I got another troll comment on their social media." And I went, "Really? What did they say?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, that is gold content," because they have this perception that this, and that's why they've trolled you with this comment. So what we're actually going to do is use that for content to go, imagine those people on the other side that also get like judged and shamed and all the thing about what those trolls say. Let's address it. Let's like tackle it. So this is the thing that we can actually do. So what problems do they have and how can we solve them? What will make their life easier? What do they aspire to? These are the questions that we need to ask if we're going to plan out our best year yet as well. Which brings me to that before and after, really looking at and reviewing in your product menu, what is my actual before and outcome after? What is that transformation? And do I have a framework when you are developing a new product line? What's my framework for success for that as well? And then think about reaching different customer groups, adapting to market changes. I really want you to think about that with AI coming. How can you adapt to the market changes that are coming in our businesses with AI? How can you leverage it? Like, I just did an AI session to show you how to automate so many of your tasks. So you not only get a better result, but how you save time doing it. So these are the things that we need to look at. How can we leverage AI and video to connect with our audience? How can we understand what they need so we can increase our revenue and profits? So that's all in this episode to plan out our best year yet. If you want more help to go deeper, then check out Content Catalyst, because as I mentioned, Content Catalyst is my membership. We are diving into all things our offer and how we promote it and the activities that we do coming into the next quarter. So if you're thinking about developing and selling an existing product or a new offer, then definitely January, February, March is going to be the key dates that you don't want to miss. And to start with, start mapping out, get that annual planning calendar and map out your year, and then you can set your goals accordingly. I know, like I said, it takes a bit of time to do this as well. Like some people might be able to smash it out in an hour, where for me, I like to take a few weeks to actually review it. So, I started 2 weeks ago reviewing everything, and then I'll start to map everything out. And this weekend, I'll do some more fine tuning of what I'm planning for next year as well. So yeah, the more data you have from this year, the better you can plan out your thing, the better. And as I spoke about earlier with systems, my goal at the moment is to outsource the things that slow me down, do more of the things and lean into the things that I love doing, because they're my super strengths and my superpowers. And the things that I am outsourcing, have I got systems at? And I know this morning this came up with my assistant of going, did this email go out and at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then at half an hour before the session? And it's like, okay, I thought that was in the checklist. All right, let's review the checklist. Let's revise that system. And now for next month and months following, this is the thing that we're doing. So having those systems in place is definitely a focus on mine for planning for next year, of going, what have I done? How can I do it better? and what did I learn from it? So that's all from me for this episode. I hope this has given you a little bit of aspirations and motivations to start planning out 2025 so you have your best year yet. Start by reviewing and recapping this year, and take some time to talk to your current customers and members and clients so you get real feedback about where your business is at. And don't be afraid to evolve and lean into it. If you need more help, this is where I am. And until the next episode of Content Catalyst, I'm Deb Szabo. Have a great day. Bye.